Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally time for another episode of Forgotten Fairy Tales. Sorry it's been so long. I've had a lot of things going on in my life. I just haven't been able to sit down and do it. So, a very good friend of mine by the name of Reese Scott, or originally Reese Harrell, passed away apparently in August. I just found out about this. So, I decided that this particular fairy tale I'm going to do sort of in honor of her. It's one that I read about when I was in Puerto Rico when I was a teenager, but she had grown up there and she had related in greater detail to me. So this is the legend of Coqui. So a long time ago, on an island in the Caribbean, lived the peaceful Tainos. They called their island Boriquin, which means the land of brave man. A wise and beautiful goddess watched over the Tainos. She wished only good for them. But the goddess loved one Taino more than all of the others. He was the son of Kakiku, the great chief, and his name was Coqui. Coqui stood tall and proud among his people. Though strong and brave, he was the first to help those weaker than himself. The goddess happily watched Coqui paddle his log canoe in the beautiful blue waters. His queue of black hair whipped around him. The water sprayed his face, made him laugh. Because she loved him best, she made sure his nets were always full of fish. She listened to his singing and while he called in his catch. Coqui never forgot to look up and thank her, even though he could not see her. Then his songs of joy would follow him all the way back to the shore. But most of all, the goddess looked forward to the baby games of the Tainos. Coqui was the quickest and most agile player among them. He kept the rubber ball in the air longer than anyone. One fateful night, the goddess made her decision to come to Coqui in the form of a Taino woman. Her love for Coqui made her beautiful in the moonlight. He stepped out of his little house when the goddess approached him from the forest. Who are you? Asked Coqui, startled by her beauty. He had never seen the maiden before. Someone who has watched you from afar, she answered in a gentle voice. I do not know you, he said, yet I feel like I have always known you. The goddess nodded her head, almost revealing her secret. Long before we chanced to meet, our hearts learned to love one another. Coqui took her hand, and they walked together in the forest for the rest of the enchanted night. When the moon sailed across the sky and the sunrise was almost upon them, the goddess bid Coqui farewell. Where can I find you? He asked. When will I see you again? At moonrise tonight, she answered, I will come to you. The goddess waited anxiously all day. She watched Coqui from above. He went about his tasks restless. But from time to time he would break out in joyful song, thanking the goddess for sending such a beautiful maiden. Perhaps she would be his wife, he sang. But even if she was just a dream, he'd find enough happiness for a lifetime. Then late in the afternoon, when the wind began to blow, and dark clouds boiled in the eastern sky, the waves started to grow higher and higher. The trees bowed before the wind. Coqui, the other Tainos, called, Come to shelter in the caves! But Coqui would not leave until he was sure the mysterious maiden was safe. He searched everywhere for her. The wind howled around him, and like a great hand battered him to and fro. Rain lashed him cruelly and made it impossible to see. The goddess, of course, tried to protect him, but the winds of Jurican, the evil spirit of storms, shoved her back. Laughing, Jurican snatched Coqui away from the goddess, and she saw him no more. When the storm ended, the other Tainos came out from the caves in the mountain and discovered their village in ruins. They found no sign of Coqui. He had vanished from the world. For days the goddess cried in anguish. When the Tainos prayed for rain to cease, she dried her tears, but the sorrow wouldn't leave her. What could fill the emptiness of her heart? What was there in all the world to remind her of Coqui? Out of her grief, she created a tiny frog and taught him to sing the name of her beloved. Whenever she heard the sound of his name, she would smile again. If you visit Puerto Rico today, you will hear the little frogs fill the air with their song of the lost prince. Coqui, Coqui, Coqui. It's another tragic love story. How many fairy tales and things like that of true love do you hear that actually ended happy endings? Okay, some of the Disney ones, even in some of the older versions. But in general, so often it's like, oh, they loved each other and died horribly. The story we did the other week with the Aztecs. The story of Tristan and Isolde. The story of Lancelot and Guinevere. Oh, good heavens, that's not really... I don't like the story of Lancelot and Guinevere. It annoys me that the guy let his short sword lead him around and ruin a great kingdom, and that's why that's the great love story. I don't like Romeo and Juliet either, just because, really, they kill each other pointless in a stupid and pointless way, and this is the great romance. But I do like this story. It's cute. I dedicate it to my friend who passed. Wherever you are up there, Reese, I hope you're looking down and getting a little smile at me telling the story of Coqui. That's it. I'm going to try and do another story real quick, and then I've got the live show in a minute. So stick around.